a break from the supermarket beers with one of my favourite breweries. It's Azvex, and this is their Feline Aquarium IPA. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we are going to Azvex in Liverpool, one of my favourite breweries. I've had some really great beers from this beer company, and you know they make great beer, but also they have some great can artwork, and this one is no exception. Look at that! It really sort of jumped out off the shelf for me in Prost Bottle Shop in Bevington. It's a cat that's in the water. Yeah. Weird, you don't see many cats swimming, do you? But this is called Feline Aquarium. It's an IPA, 6.4%. Hops wise, we've got Nelson Sauvin, one of my favourites, Idaho 7 and El Dorado. So let's put this in a glass and see what it's all about. I'm really looking forward to this because it seems like a while since I've had it, and I just want to say right now, I don't want to be seen as like a bit of a beer snob, because I'm not a beer snob at all. I'm from Essex. I can't be a beer snob. But I look, when I was going back and editing my my videos for those last 4 supermarkets beers, I do come across as a bit like, oh, I'm too good for these supermarket beers. That's not the case, but I think we'll see how this beer compares with those beers, and you'll see the difference. That for spending not that much more money in the scheme of things, I mean, this one was, I think it was a £5. I'm sure we're going to get a better beer. We've got it in a great glass, the Iron Maiden Trooper glass, and look at that. Bright, yellowy, custard, straw-coloured, chicken soup, whatever you want to call it, but that's what I expect. That's what I like to see with an IPA. We've got literally a finger of just off white head, quite a lot of bubbles on there. I don't think that's going to stick around too long. And already the aroma is starting to fill the room. You know, it's something that you don't get with supermarket beers. You don't get that aroma filling the room before you've even put it to your nose. So let's see what it really smells like. To be honest, it smells exactly as I expect it to smell like when you got Nelson Sauvin in there. It's quite heavy with the old with those sort of Kiwi aromas. You know, the grape, the gooseberry, the lime, melon. Yeah, it smells really good. Really sort of fresh and citrusy as well. Idaho 7. El Dorado, you know, they bring a bit more tropicalness to it. So I'm interested to see how they combine with the Nelson Sauvin. But it smells really good and it's got my taste buds going. So let's tuck in. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, that's special. Soft, smooth, full of, you know, you get those big hits of sort of like sweetness, that grape, gooseberry, and that sort of tingles on your tongue. I mean, that sort of gives way to a bright citrusy lemons and limes and grapefruits all in the mix there. It's a beautiful beer. It's a beautiful beer. Sometimes I think, well, I drink a lot of these beers, the New Zealand hopped beers, and I'm a massive fan of them. And obviously I think that probably gives my overall experience of this beer goes up a bit because I'm just a big fan of those hops. But it's just a really good brew. I mean, I think Azvex are really smashing it at the moment. They're up there, you know, in the top breweries in the country. I think they're just consistently, especially with their IPAs, that sweet spot between 6 and 7%. They really know how to hit it. I mean, I've had a dipper from them that was quite good. Pale Ale's not as good, but this one is spot on. The body's spot on. The flavours are there. It's a very easy drinking for 6.4%. There's nothing artificial. There's a nice bit of dry sort of bitterness on the back end. You get that sharp grapefruit flavour, but you get all the sort of the sweet and the citrusy flavours in this beer, and it's a very good beer. You know, this is a sort of beer that I could drink all the time. If I could only pick one type of beer, it'd be something pretty similar to this, to be honest. Really great beer. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wonder if we'll ever see, I mean, I'm sure we will, whether we'll ever see Azvex in the supermarkets. And I wonder if their beers will be as good as their beers that I buy from the bottle shops. But yeah, definitely very, very good beer. Great can artwork. Definitely recommended. A really good brewery. I do hope I'm going to get to that tap room because it's not that far away from me. I just need to find some people to go with, basically. But yeah, another cracking beer from Azvex. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Feline Aquarium. It's an IPA, 6.4% from Azvex. And it has got Idaho 7 and it has got El Dorado. But most importantly, it's got Nelson Sauvin. A really, really good beer, this. Yeah, I mean, it's up there with some of the Azvex best. I think the best, I still think that unrecognisable metal logos was really good. Similar sort of hops. That had I'm sure that had Nelson Sauvin in it as well. But this is a really solid, above average beer. But let's go through the scores, starting with aroma, appearance, flavour, value for money, and finally my overall experience. Yep, it's a cracking beer. They do make great beers, and this is this is just a perfect example of the sort of beers that they're making. Consistently good beers. I love it. Yeah, highly recommended. Total score off. So, Azvex, let me know if you've had any Azvex from recently, got any special favourites. I mean, again, they sort of, I don't know if they're copying, but I do find that they're very similar to Polly's. Both, they release quite a lot of different beers every week. Yeah, pretty much every week. At least two beers every week. So like 8 or so new beers every month. They've got great can artwork. Their branding is all great, just like Polly's as well. And they make good beers, and they put the hops on it, and they're pretty reasonable price. You know, they're not creeping up to £6. They're sort of more on the sort of late £4.50 to sort of just over £5, certainly for their IPAs. And the Pals are actually a little bit cheaper than that. So I think very good value for money. And this is another great example. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, keep on rocking.